Caregiving can feel overwhelming. Some days feel impossible. If you're caring for someone with Alzheimer's or dementia, we want you to know this. You are not alone. There is help. There are resources, and there is hope. Alzheimer's and Caregivers. Greetings and welcome. This is GutPunched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers, the not-so-sexy podcast, episode 91. Welcome. I'm your host, Jeff Edwards, and thanks for joining us today. We're honored to have you with us. And today we'll have part 2 of our interview with Dr. John Huffaker from NPRC as we discuss some of the benefits of utilizing a research center. And we'll go over some helpful caregiver tips from Alzheimer's Association about adjusting to your new normal and helping family and friends to do the same. Plus, we will have another listener question answered in What's New in Alzheimer's with Dr. John Huffaker. Send questions to us at gutpunchac@outlook.com. You know, if you happen to live in Southwest Florida, you should know that the McGregor Baptist Church is putting on their annual Alzheimer's, Dementia, and the Gospel Seminar Saturday, February 21st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check-in starts at 8:30. Seminar starts promptly at 9 a.m. For more information about the seminar or their dementia ministry, you can go to mcgregor.net/dementia. We are proud to be supported by Neuropsychiatric Research Center, a clinical trial center dedicated to advancing research and treatment for memory loss and Alzheimer's disease. And the fine people at Heart, Body, and Mind Home Care, nationally acclaimed, award-winning home care. And we'd like to welcome our newest sponsor, Live Younger Today. Activate your stem cells for health and vitality. You can check them out online at https://liveyoungertoday.com. Our 5 tenets, or rules, are the backbone of everything we do. They are simple, but very important. Number 1, you must take care of yourself, because if something happens to you, who is going to take care of your loved one? Number 2, you can't do it alone. You need help. Find a good caregiver group. Number 3, make a list of friends or relatives or coworkers who have offered to help, and then use it. Number 4, create a help signal. Identify a cue or phrase to confirm your loved one is comfortable with receiving help. And number 5, caregiving. Love it or hate it. It will be your life till it's not. So give it your all. When we come back, what's new in Alzheimer's with Dr. John Huffaker.
We'll be right back to Gut Punched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers.
Tired of feeling like aging means slowing down? Hi, I'm Peggy Sealfon, board-certified health coach, sharing how you can change how you age with a patented science-backed technology activating your own regenerative cells, improve sleep, energy, cognition, and more. On March 14th, you can hear details at Change How You Age in Naples. Reserve your free seat at mindbodyfitnessforlife.com.
This is Gut Punched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers. What's new in Alzheimer's with John Huffaker.
We have an email from Adam S. from Cleveland, Ohio. My mom is in her late 70s and has just been officially diagnosed with Alzheimer's. We suspected for a while that's what she had been experiencing, the early symptoms. How many stages are there, and how will we know when each stage comes? Are they obvious?
All right, Adam, that's a great question, and it's kind of a little bit of a two-part answer to that. So formally, there are 7 stages to Alzheimer's, and that starts like at a stage 1, which actually the person has, and we've talked about this on previous podcasts, they have the elevated proteins, so they know they have the underlying disease, but they don't have any impairment yet. That's considered stage 1. So that's very rare that we find those individuals, because when we're not presenting any type of memory symptoms, why would we be getting checked? But that's a stage 1. And then it goes up all the way up to a stage 7, which is the most severe form of late-stage dementia. That's kind of the final stage. They can have difficulty walking, swallowing, that sort of thing, and there's all these stages in between. Generally, though, when we talk about Alzheimer's, we talk about clinical stages, and that's where you hear about mild, moderate, and severe Alzheimer's. Those are just kind of a 3 broken down stages that are really more based on their symptoms, but the formal way of doing it is using those 7 different stage model. When somebody transitions from one stage to another, it all varies by the individual. Some people progress very rapidly, and some can go very slowly and stay in certain stages for quite a bit of time.
Okay, that was really interesting. We're coming back with our caregiver tips from the Alzheimer's Association, adjusting to the new normal.
We'll be right back to Gut Punched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers.
If you find that it's time that you must start looking for a good home care company for your loved one, I'd like you to consider talking with Heart, Body, and Mind Home Care, a nationally award-winning company. They are top of the line in service. They will tell you service is their passion, excellence is their promise, and that's the honest truth. They are very knowledgeable and skilled at what they provide. On top of that, they are just really nice people who love helping others in need. They are Alzheimer's and Dementia and Parkinson's care specialists. You can find them on the web at hbmhomecare.com, or you can call them at area code 239-603-6455. And you'll find a link for them on our website, gutpunch.com. Heart, Body, and Mind Home Care, your best choice for home care.
This is Gut Punched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers.
Well, I look at a lot of different things throughout the course of a week, and I came across some information from the Alzheimer's Association, and I thought maybe this is a good refresher. Part of living well with Alzheimer's is adjusting to your new normal and helping family and friends do the same. Knowing what to expect and what resources are available can make the process easier for you and those close to you. Helping your spouse or partner. The news of your diagnosis may or may not be a surprise. As both of you come to terms with this huge change in your life together, your spouse or partner may feel a sense of loss or loneliness as a result of the diagnosis. Now, here's what you can do to help your spouse or partner. Continue participating in as many activities as you can with your partner. Adapt activities as needed to make them comfortable and enjoyable. Find new activities that you can do together. Also continue doing things you've always enjoyed as a couple. Another thing, talk with your spouse or partner about what kind of help you would like from him or her now. Also discuss what you can still do on your own. Work with your spouse or partner to put information you may need later regarding caregiver services and costs. Organize documents you may need into a file. When considering future services, include housekeeping and respite care. That's caregiver relief care. Start your search for local services, resources, and programs by using their online community resource finder. That's alz.org. Discuss any roles in the relationship with a professional counselor or clergy member. Include changes in your sexual feelings or ways of connecting. Share the Alzheimer's caregiving information. Your spouse or partner can learn more about caregiving issues and get tips. Attend early stage and or caregiver support groups through your local Alzheimer's Association. Sometimes befriending another couple in the same situation offers new possibilities for support. Connect with others. You and your spouse or partner can connect with others on the message boards, ALZ Connected. Also, stay connected with family and friends. Helping your children or grandchildren. Younger children may be afraid that they will get the disease or that they did something to cause it. Teenagers may become resentful when they have to take on more responsibilities around the home, or they may feel embarrassed that their parent or grandparent is different. College-bound children may be reluctant to leave home to attend school, or may create occasions to be angry to make it easier to separate and gain independence. And what you can do to help the children in your life. Talk openly about the changes you are experiencing because of your disease. Identify their emotional needs. Find ways to support them, such as meeting with a counselor specializing in treating families dealing with a chronic illness. Notify school social workers and teachers about your situation. Give them information about the disease. You can direct them to alz.org or give them educational brochures from your local Alzheimer's Association chapter. Don't pull away. Try to find activities you can still enjoy together. If you can't drive, plan a hike or a bike ride. Check out local public transportation. And use the Community Resource Finder, alz.org, to search for local transportation services. Make it okay to laugh. Sometimes humor lightens the mood and makes coping easier. Celebrity champion and comedian Chris Garcia describes how humor helped him and his family when his father, a Cuban refugee, developed Alzheimer's. Record your thoughts, feelings, and wisdom in writing, audio, or video. The children in your life will appreciate this when they grow older. Helping your friends. Friends, coworkers, and neighbors may not understand what is happening to you. Sometimes they may not know what to do or say. They may keep their distance or resist keeping in touch, or they may be waiting for you to reach out to them. Share your experiences living with Alzheimer's. Tell them what you're still comfortable doing. Invite them to Alzheimer's Association education programs and events. Let them know when you need help and support and what they can do to help. Then, when they offer, take them up on it. And when the adjustment process gets stuck, there are times when it may feel like family members or friends are not connecting with you. When your relationship feels stuck in these situations, it may be that the person or your connection with each other is confronting an emotional challenge that feels overwhelming. If this happens, there are some ways to help move the adjustment process along. Speak honestly and frankly about your feelings. Acknowledge the importance of the relationship to you and your desire to go through this difficult time together. Try to listen to the other person's feelings. Respond as much as you can, while saving your concerns for another time. Both of you need to feel heard by the other, and sometimes taking turns being the listener can help. Focus on the positive changes you can make that might help you regain your sense of closeness. Take action. Make plans to do something that you both enjoy together. When friends and family get stuck in the adjustment process, help by directing them to the 24/7 helpline at 1-800-272-3900 to get advice. Consider bringing in a third party to help. Talking with a professional who has experience working with people facing chronic disease can help one or both of you deal with the impact of the disease. Contact your local Alzheimer's Association chapter to help locate professionals with this type of expertise. If you or a family member is experiencing depression or anxiety that seems to go beyond what feels normal, know that these are treatable conditions. There are professionals who can help. And you could always reach out to the 24/7 helpline anytime at 1-800-272-3900. Just some things I thought might be pertinent at this time.
We'll be right back to Gut Punched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers.
Your memories are precious. The people you love, the moments you cherish, the life you've lived. At Neuropsychiatric Research Center, we believe your brain deserves the very best care. If you're 50 or older, we invite you to a free memory screening event designed to give you clarity, hope, and valuable insight into your cognitive health. This test has the potential to identify Alzheimer's-related changes earlier than ever in giving people more time, more understanding, and more ways to prepare. By taking just a few minutes for a confidential memory check, it can help you establish a baseline, give you a peace of mind, and connect you to research that may change lives, including your own. Neuropsychiatric Research Center, 14271 Metropolis Avenue, Fort Myers. Take the first step towards protecting your brain for yourself and the people who love you. Visit nprc-southwestflorida.com or call 239-939-7777 to schedule your free memory screening today. The p-tau 217 blood test is available only to participants who meet eligibility criteria.
This is Gut Punched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers.
This is part 2 of our conversation with Dr. John Huffaker from the Neuropsychiatric Research Center. He's got a lot of information to share with us. Tell us about the opportunity access, promising new medications or interventions that are not yet available to the general public, providing a source of hope. Now, what benefits do participants get from this?
To give an idea, a little background, at the Neuropsychiatric Research Center, we have a little over 20 studies right now that we're focusing on Alzheimer's disease. We talk about new medications, new interventions. We are representing quite a variety of different possible treatments. They go from medications to we're even doing some medical devices that use a particular gamma frequency to treat the amyloid proteins, which are the main troublemakers of this disease. But at any rate, with all those clinical trials, what benefits that can give to a participant? One, we can't give anyone a guarantee, right? It's clinical research. I can't promise you anything, but what I can tell you is you're getting an opportunity to get exposed to some treatments or medications that aren't available any other way. At the same token of that, you get medical care. I also will always tell people, this is medical care that your insurance won't pay for. When you're in a clinical trial, we don't take money, we don't take insurance, but we're also not limited by insurance. So we can get very state-of-the-art medical care. And you get some testing that you also just wouldn't normally get at your doctor, because to do clinical research, it's a very big commitment. It's a big commitment for the person coming into the clinical trial, and it's a big commitment on our end for what we're administering or what we're doing for this study. So there's a lot of upside to doing a clinical trial. You get some exposure to treatments you wouldn't otherwise get. In all fairness, there is no guarantee. We don't know. These medications are still in research. We're still trying to determine, are these good, effective treatments? But with that said, if you think about any medication or any type of treatment you get from your doctor for any disease, whether it's a blood pressure pill or diabetic medication, all of those medications had to go through the same type of clinical research that we're doing here. We have to be able to prove they have a benefit. And I typically stress to everyone, what we're using here are about 3 to 7 years ahead of being available through their regular doctor.
Wow, that's a long time when you think about it, especially when you're worried about something like this.
To give an idea, like the medications are approved right now for Alzheimer's, Leqembi and Kisunla, we've been using here for about 12 or 13 years. So we had patients that we treated on those medications a decade ago, before those medicines were even approved or available. It's the process of getting a drug approved through the FDA. It's slow. There's a lot of bureaucracy. We wish it was faster, but it's the way the process is right now. It takes a long time.
Yeah, that is not encouraging, but we got what we got. All right, so someone gets into a trial. What happens to the information that you gather? Is it put along with others? Is it done individually, collectively? How does that work? How does that process work?
Good question. When somebody comes into a clinical trial, outside of our building, they're randomly assigned a random number. The drug company that is paying for the clinical trial, anyone that can look at the data ever going down the road doesn't know that participant, who that person is. That is protected for several reasons. One, they don't want anyone to have access to an individual's personal data. And the other is they don't want to have any way that somebody could try to get a hold of that person in the clinical trial to sway them. They're trying to protect the bias and the quality of the data in that clinical trial. So unless somebody that goes into a clinical trial wants us to, we don't share that information out into the regular medical community. It doesn't go into like their MyChart. It doesn't go to their regular doctor. It is not creating a paper trail that follows them everywhere. It stays specific to the clinical trial and that research project. Now, if they wanted us to let their primary care doctor know they're in a clinical trial, which I think is a good thing to do, we will do that, but that's completely up to the individual. I have lots of people that don't want anybody to know. I've had some people in some of these Alzheimer's clinical trials for years that didn't even want their spouse to know they were in a study. Wow. And that's okay. That's their decision, and we'll honor that. But the information is always protected. We call it redacted. So if anything leaves from here, we remove anything that could identify who that patient is to protect their privacy. In theory, whenever somebody does a clinical trial, whether it's with us or any other research project you do, it isn't even a formal diagnosis. So let's say I see somebody, I'm doing an Alzheimer's study. I do a full workup that's probably as detailed or more detailed than their regular doctor could do. And we can see that, yes, this is Alzheimer's. Formally, because it's research, it is not a diagnosis. They're just in a clinical trial for Alzheimer's disease. So if they had to answer to somebody else, or if the only place they were ever told that it's Alzheimer's was in clinical research, you could, in theory, tell anybody else outside of the clinical project you do not have a diagnosis of Alzheimer's. They do that because they don't want people not to do clinical trials because of fear of a diagnosis or somebody being fearful that they don't want that in their medical record. All that is kept separate.
Now, does the participant have to pay any money or use insurance to participate in a study from you?
No, we never take money here. We never take insurance. We aren't even signed up to take insurance or Medicare. Matter of fact, any medical procedure, lab work, anything that is done in the clinical trial is actually paid for by the sponsor. And the sponsor is the person that's paying for the clinical trial, which is typically the drug manufacturer. But they pay for everything associated to that clinical trial. So if we were doing lab work, if we were doing some sort of imaging, all that is paid for the sponsor. The person in the clinical trial doesn't pay for anything. And as a matter of fact, anyone that participates in a clinical trial gets a small stipend for being in the clinical trial. So I always tell everybody and make the joke, we're not legally allowed to pay you enough to entice you to go into a clinical trial. You're not going to be buying an island in the Bahamas with the money, but you will be able to have some nice dinners or something because we do compensate somebody for their time. Yeah, there's absolutely no cost whatsoever.
Very good. This was good information. What is the first step someone should take to learn more about NPRC?
I think one of the best things to do is just reach out to us. You can call us directly. You can also talk to your doctor. And if you call us, we'll do that initial visit. I kind of described that earlier where we kind of go through the medical history, do a little bit of some cognitive assessments, and really just kind of do a little bit of an interview to find out a little bit more to see, is there anything that we could help with? Is there anything that would make sense for us to investigate and dig further into? And again, even those, they don't cost anything. That very first visit, I will say this part about it, we never take money, we don't charge anything, but that very first visit, we can't compensate somebody for that very first visit because when you come in and we're doing that workup, you haven't committed to doing a clinical trial. Once you go into the clinical trial is when the compensation starts and begins. So I just want to make sure everyone knows it doesn't cost you anything. It's for free. And we have people that come every year and do that same workup because they want to have all that information tracked and we use our resources, and that's perfectly fine. I just want to kind of explain that different.
Sure. Well, that's great. Thank you for your time and the information that you shared with us today. We really appreciate that. Looking ahead, we have some housekeeping things. We'll continue to talk about our tenets or rules, and we'll soon have them on the website. And we'll do the same for our resources, and they'll all appear on our resources page. Our resources are very important. If you're not sure where to turn or how to connect, we're here to help bring them to you. Reach out to the Dubin Center at dubincenter.com. Then there is the Neuropsychiatric Research Center. Find them at NPRC-southwestflorida.com. And Heart, Body, and Mind Home Care at hbmhomecare.com. And you can check out the Alzheimer's Support Network at alzsupport.org. Now, to find your local chapter of the Alzheimer's Association, you can visit their website or call their toll-free hotline at 1-800-272-3900. They also offer an outstanding resource called Dementia Care Navigation, powered by Ripple and the Alzheimer's Association. It provides free, personalized dementia care, including a dedicated care navigator and tailored resources for caregivers and people living with dementia. Now, you can get connected by calling 855-271-2662 to get connected. That's 855-271-2662. Take the first step. Now, we talk about the GUIDE program frequently. It's another excellent resource that provides help and respite care, and it's free. You can search for it online or visit Dr. Perry's HealthSpan Partners at https://healthspansouthwestflorida.com. Another resource worth checking out is Aquilane Clinical Research at aqualaneresearch.com. And can't forget the Alzheimer's Support Network at https://support.network. And thank you to each and every one of you who has taken the time out of your busy, stressful day as a caregiver to give us a listen. We truly appreciate it. If this episode helps you, please share it with one person who needs it. If you would subscribe to GutPunched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers, that would be great. And don't forget to visit our website at gutpunched.com. Our email address is gutpunchedac@outlook.com or jeff@gutpunched.com. Thank you for joining us. And if today gave you even a little hope, hold on to it. God bless.
This has been GutPunched, Alzheimer's and Caregivers, with your host, Jeff Edwards. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to us on all the platforms, like Spotify, Apple, Pandora, Podbean, and more. If you have a question or want to get in touch with us, our email is gutpunchedac@outlook.com or jeff@gutpunched.com. Caregivers, you don't have to do this alone.